This 10-minute film comprises of interviews with 3 white men who participated in the Choreodrome project funded by The Place, Wellcome Trust and Arts Council England. The interviews take place in front of a mirrored wall in a dance studio. Lead artist Stuart Waters is in his 40s with a shaved head and a stubbled jaw. Director Tom Roden is also in his 40s. He's clean-shaven with short, light brown hair. Performer and audio describer Willie Elliott is in his 60s with a shaved head and a full grey beard. Throughout the interviews, the 3 men work together in the rehearsal room, moving together around the room or rolling on the floor, and discussing the project animatedly. These moments run in slow motion, giving the film a balletic grace. White text on a black background reads, A Queer Collision 2020-2021, Research and Development by Stuart Waters.
My name's Stuart Waters, and I'm a dance artist. I selected the collaborators and conceived the idea and pulled together some of the other partners. And yes, I guess you could say that I'm kind of leading the overall project, but also one of the performers inside it.
In a dance studio.
I'm Tom Roden, and I'm a theatre director and choreographer and performer.
So my name's Willie Elliott, and I'm an audio describer. I trained as an actor, so I've become a performer in this project.
The 3 men improvise fluid movement.
The first stage of the project was to form a stronger relationship with The Place and being accepted onto Choreodrome, which has been amazing. What's wonderful about Choreodrome and The Place is that although we want to find things out, it gives us the opportunity to play with quite a lot of flexible boundaries. It's been quite a natural process. I think I started some of the thinking towards the end of my last project, Rock Bottom, and some of the learning curves that were happening whilst touring around more inclusivity for audience with access needs. And I was working with a very seasoned team of professionals that know a lot about that, and I wanted to know more. I also wanted to know why and how it could be more inclusive.
We've been working together just for a few days now. It's only the week 2 of the project at the moment. And we've been having some quite intense experiences. The material's autobiographical to some extent. There's a lot of content, and some of it's harder to deal with, and some of it's lighter. And we're trying to find a balance between those things. But at any given point, the day might become emotional. And I think that's probably my job, is to make sure that it is being emotional and that we're funneling that into the work, but trying to do that in as safe a way as possible. So we're working in as healthy way as possible. We're supporting each other. There's lots of check-ins and check-outs and all that kind of stuff that I think is vital to making work that's autobiographical.
I know that Tom's done a lot of work with other artists around safeguarding, and with our current process, safeguarding the creative process. I knew that he would really take that on board.
It was exciting. We wanted to work together. I've always been a fan of his work. I saw Rock Bottom and was really struck by the work. When he invited me to come work on this, it was a definite, like, I had to come and do it.
It's been loads of fun, actually. We have been laughing a lot. It was important for me to work with people that had a lot of experience and people that I could trust, because again, I knew that we would be opening up an element of autobiographical reflection, but at the same time, I also knew that I needed to be, and I'm interested in being pushed, I suppose, into being supported into something new that's challenging, and to trust that those awkward moments are what we need more of in the studio to find something new.
We've been playing. We don't feel that there's any pressure. So even in terms of exploring the movement, exploring audio description, we've been doing them, playing with them separately and together. We're looking at personal stories. We're looking at our personal stories along with the bigger picture historically, in terms of men and their relationships with men and their families and being gay and
having the privacy together, just the 3 of us in the first 5 days, was really great for us to laugh to feel vulnerable, to open up, to share. And for three men to do that, really, and realise that although we're talking about queerness, that actually the focus is about men, at least at the moment.
So this project's got a unique challenge at the heart of it, which is that we're trying to embed audio description into the writing right from the very beginning. So when Willie works on a project as an audio describer, he usually comes in at the end, sees what material has been made, and then translates that into audio description. And this time we've had Willie in right from the very beginning to devise the material. And that's a way that I've never worked before, and it's got some really interesting challenges. Working with Willie is amazing. He's got all of this movement in his mind, in his language, and also in his body. So to work with him as a dancer is a real treat.
We've tried lots of different approaches, so sometimes the body's led, and then we've been thinking about how we might then go back and look at what we've got and audio describe that. But also we've been trying lots and lots of things around, and of course what's brilliant about having Willie inside it with me is that he's able to stop and say, that's not audio description, actually, so to look at that again.
Anytime somebody goes, oh, this is getting a bit hard, I just go, it doesn't matter. This is the good bit. This is why it's so good, because it is hard. But we've got the luxury at the moment just to go, let's just have a go, let's play with it and just see what happens.
It's complicated because we've got a whole other layer of writing going on whilst we're making the show. And it's beautiful because it's opening it up. As all things to do with access in the arts do, they open it up for everybody.
And there's a real challenge around making it as accessible to blind and partially sighted people as it is to sighted people. And from that point of view, it means that we very deliberately are making sure that everybody hears it.
For me, hard to conceive of working on a project again without considering audio description. I'm not quite sure how it's going to pan out in the future, but I definitely know that there's a door being opened that can't be closed.
Hosted and supported by Choreodrome 2020 at the Place, the Welcome Collection, Arts Council England, Stuart Waters, lead artist, Willie Elliott, performer, Tom Roden, director, Andy Pink, composer, Vicky Balaam, producer, filmed by Rosie Powell.